So we are here starting the server track. And I've got John, Stewie, Ja, and Siamak, and they are going to start with their intro.
Good morning, everyone. My name is John Stewie. I'm an architect at Dell Technologies Cloud and Emerging Technologies Group. I'm here with Siamak and Gia, if you want to introduce yourselves.
Good morning, this is Siamak Tavalai. I'm a principal architect at Microsoft Azure. With John, we co-lead the server project.
Hi, everyone. This is Ja. I'm a hardware engineering manager with Facebook in the computer hardware space. And I'm in incubation committee representative representing server project here.
So this is an introduction to the server project. Hopefully most of you already know who we are and attend our meetings. We do have 4 subgroups inside the server track. HPC or high performance computing. The tracks for HPC are included in the main server track. They don't have a separate track of their own. We have a NIC MES track that's produced the NIC 3.0. And it has a separate track all on its own today. We also have the OAI or Open Accelerator Infrastructure track that has their own full set of tracks, and ODSA for the Open Domain Specific Architecture. So we have a lot of work going on in the server project. A little bit on how to navigate today. Obviously, you're all in the FN Virtual app since you're managing to view us here today. But if you want to look just at the server tracks in the upper left, you can change this to track. And on the tracks, we have the server track, which is what we're on right now. Then we have the ODSA, OAI, and NIC MES tracks. So that's how you can find all of the information that's in the server project at OCP Tech Week. The talks we have today are all in the tools, so you can get more information on all these. Currently we're in the project lead intro. One of the items we have is we're starting up a new work stream for Enterprise Server 2021 to develop a new generic enterprise server spec. That'll be led by Alan Chang and Matthew Thauberger. They start off with an open discussion, or start off with the introduction, but then they have an open discussion for half an hour. So hopefully that'll be a good interactive talk. I know at Tech Week, we're trying to be a little more interactive than we were in the summits and get some more feedback. Following that, we have Alan Cantle with the HPC update, and then 4 lightning talks from HPC, HPE, OpenBMC, Penguin, and NVIDIA. And then an open discussion at the end to help define the HPC requirements, since we're restarting the HPC. It kind of got dormant on us. We're really trying to give it a kickstart. Alan's really helping out with that. Then we have a number of other tracks: composable independent firmware, bringing JBOD modularity, PCI Express on HPC, high-speed interconnect building blocks, overcoming challenges in data center operations, extending the E1S, which is the new EDSF form factor for memory acceleration, some cross-project information here on the OpenACS design guidelines, which is immersion cooling. We're trying to get more synergy between the project groups here. And then another immersion optimized IT platforms. So we have a good track today, and looking forward to everybody attending and giving us some good feedback. So Joe is our IC lead for the incubation committee. One of his projects that he worked on is modularity, and he wants to spend a few minutes talking about what he's doing on the modularization. Joe?
Yeah, I'm glad to. Yeah, so I want to start with giving some context. And in every year, in the recent few years, OCP IC committee is looking across a list of technology that as options for us to guide the community and lead the collaboration on. So we were doing the ranking of the priority of this efforts, and modularization was ranked pretty high in the past two exercise, and the goal is to map out the modularization efforts across OCP and in the industry to increase the chance of reusing these modular standards and avoiding reinventing modules. So we're currently in a stage of mapping the different efforts, and on the right you see this mapping with efforts in the OCP and outside of OCP. I'm encouraging people to join this exercise to help us to complete the mapping and bring the awareness of the industry of different modularization efforts going on. And meanwhile, I think OCP IC committee is doing the similar exercise end of 2020 for the 2021 planning. So they're please looking forward to a few new initiatives coming led by different people. Yeah. So this is a quick update on the modularization, and please find more information in the OCP IC wiki.
All right. Thanks, Gia. Wrapping up, call to action. Just want to encourage everybody to get involved and stay involved. This is a community. Yeah, we have a lot of great volunteers. We can't do it all, and we don't know it all. So we want to get feedback from everybody involved. The sub-project wiki links are all on the working wiki if you want to look at what any of the sub-projects are doing, or look at any of the documents that are being presented at any of the sub-projects. The main server project meeting calls are the third Wednesday of each month. There's a link there for the calendar, and you can look at all of the meeting times for all the sub-projects in that calendar. It's always up to date with all of the call-in links and times. Also have a mailing list. We have a separate mailing list for every project and sub-project. So if you go into this Groups IO, you can choose any and all of the sub-projects you want to work with. Specifically, the ones we're using are the OCP server, OCP NIC, OCP HPC, the OAI, and ODSA. So those are the links for the mailing list for server project. And I went ahead and put a sample of the calendar. So you can see the third Wednesday, we have 11 a.m. These are all Eastern for the server project. ODSA meets every Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific. The NIC 3.0 or MES card meets the first Wednesday at noon Pacific. And the HPC looks like on the 29th, the 11th, and the 1st on this. So that's all I have for the opening track. Looks like right on time, or less than a minute left. So welcome everybody to OC Tech Week. Hope you have a good time.
Hey, John, this is Archana. There was a question that came in through the chat. And the question is, when will the DC SCM spec draft become available? And is there a plan to make this a sub-project? So do maybe one of you want to address it?
Yeah, CMAC. You're on mute, CMAC.
I definitely expect the spec, the 0.8 version of the spec, to go out this week. We are planning to have a sub-project around DC SCM. The OCP hardware project team has offered to host that project. that project, the DCSCM will span at least three subgroups, three projects: server project, hardware project, and security project. We expect 0.8 version of it to be basically complete because it has received a lot of feedback already from a lot of good partners and companies. We are going to review it within the server project first, and hopefully with a small amount of feedback, it can move to the IC for approval, and that's when we can label it 1.0. The content is complete, but we would like final feedback that's coming for IC review.
Thank you, Siamak. And I believe that this will be a project not under the server group, but it will be a project under the hardware management group. Is that correct?
That's correct, yes.
Okay.
The hardware is defined in the specification. Most of the work in front of all of us will be coding and open software and open firmware work that could enhance the experience. Mm-hmm. So the hardware project team, hardware management project team has taken that task. They're going to work on standardizing the firmware and OpenBMC and other aspects of the software around DCSC.
Okay, great. Thank you very much, everyone. Our next